All right. So before before I forget, I wanted to make a casual walkthrough explaining most of the puzzles in this Minecraft scavenger hunt I made for Zedd a few months ago. So, yeah, I'm just going to walk around and see if I can still remember how to solve everything. So, all the players started out spawned right here, which is like a recreation of the album art. And then I was hoping they would come and check out this first book, which just gives sort of a simple riddle that is alluding to a hidden pirate's treasure. And I guess we can go check that one out first. I sort of spread out all the puzzles in sort of a web fashion rather than linear, because if I made them easy to find in a linear way, then I was worried one smart person was going to get all the prizes. So my hope was if everything could be solved at the same time, then nobody would be solving too many of them at once. But I think this is the pirate ship that you're supposed to find. Oh god, it's really dark. Why is that all the way down? Come in here. Get the treasure map. This is kind of loud too. Alright, yep, I think this is the right one. I also had to be careful. I couldn't just put the prize codes on a sign or in a note somewhere because people could look through the game's data. I had to hide it within the blocks itself. Oh, a little bit more this way. There we go. So there's a little indication that they found something here. When they open this chest, there's another book, which gives you this strange number and explanation. And in order to solve this, you have to put these coordinates into Google Maps, and it'll take you to a location in, I think it was Sydney, Australia, where if you then go into Google Street View, you'll see there's a bush that spells out the word, which is this bush text portion, and then the number, and that was it. So that's all for that puzzle. Uh-oh, this is before I cleaned up some of the tests. This one was a little bit weird too. I think the trick to it is to get a little bit of elevation. And what I wanted to happen was all this yellow concrete powder is supposed to fall and make the letters, but they quickly overlap and cover each other up, so it's kind of hard to see them. So I was thinking if people like recorded it and then slowed it down, it would be easier to see all the letters forming. And I also have these green blocks indicating the cutoff point in between each letter. So I guess I'll just let them drop and see if we can catch all the letters quick. So there's F, A, R, T, oh, I guess that was I, U, N, E. Yeah, so this one, I kind of reused some of the concrete powder between the letters, which made it even more confusing, but somebody got it, so it was good enough. Ooh, I think the QR code is my favorite one, but I'll save that. I'll go down this minecart track. So this is a little clue. I put a polished andesite in there to indicate that there was something important regarding that. So, oh god, it's super loud. So as you're riding across this bridge, it's really confusing because you can't even see anything. But if you look at the bridge from a side angle, you'll see the polished andesite that I was hinting towards in that chest. And if you convert this polished andesite into Morse code, you'll see these 3 in a row as a dash, and then the single ones are dots. That will give you a time range, which if you go to the song Inside Out and play it at that time range, it gives you another clue, which, oh god, I actually don't remember off the top of my head what it was. I gotta go look it up. Oh, yep, I remember now. It is the lyrics in the song say when the lights come off at that portion. But right off the bat, that doesn't give you a lot of idea where to go from here. So I was hoping people would just go and explore this pyramid, which has some little booby traps, which are kind of useless with people going into creative, but I had fun with it anyway. And if you come around this way, oh, there's supposed to be an item in here, which will, I think I just might not have it ready in this backup version, but when you get that item, you bring it. Oh, I'm getting lost in my own maze. You bring it over here, and you're supposed to drop it in. If you put the wrong item in, it'll trigger some TNT to go off that messes everything up. But if you do the correct sacrifice item, you can turn this on, which activates a redstone trail all the way over here, which opens the secret staircase to lead you down this way. So once you're down here, this is when the lyric part of the Morse code starts to be more important, which I hinted at again right here. I'm not sure how many people caught that though. So this chorus fruit or chorus plant is destroyed when water rolls over it, and I figured out a way to make the water flow in a specific way to punch out the letters that are necessary. And these are a bunch of decoy blocks, but if you break the lights like the Morse code explained, then the water comes down from the river above and perfectly knocks out the letters that you need. So there's T-O. A. Yeah, I don't have to go through all of them, but you get the idea. It spells out toast. And then the number over here. Actually, I forget what the number was. I want to see now. $42. Ah, yeah. Okay. That was that prize. Still got some more to go. Yeah, I think I'll do this giant underground area next. I had names for all these puzzles. I gotta look up what this one was called. Just underground paths. But there is a pressure plate right here. That leads to a secret underground area. And now once you're here, these signs at the top don't really have anything to do with the puzzle. And you'll see all these seemingly random items in this chest. So let's see what the book says. Some useless clue. Oh, may have to think outside the box. This is actually helpful for when you need the number at the end. You just break out of the world and fly around in this giant cavern. But it doesn't help for the word. So the trick for decoding this is on each level you're looking for a different word, and each of these items represents a different letter in the final code word. So we start at the very beginning and we see redstone torch, and the very first letter in this item name is redstone, which R stands for right. So we go to the right. Now that we went down one level, instead of looking at the first letter, we're going to start looking at the second one. So we still always look in this top left for the first word, and now we see that the second letter in granite is an R. So then we keep going to the right. Third letter is now an L. Go left. Fourth letter is an R. Go right. L for the fifth. R. Oh man, this was a big one. Another R. And there we have the first letter is a U, and you can take up this nice path back up to the top. See where that lava pool was. This underground area is so huge. Now you just repeat that process for the next letter. So this one's L. Second letter right. And blah blah blah. You keep going all the way down, and then the next letter that would stop at would be an N until it spells out uncertain. And now to get the number for this area, you break out and just fly around. I think I hit it on the wall somewhere. Right there. 7914. I gotta hurry this up. How long have I been going? 13 minutes. Okay. Next one, I can explain this water puzzle. So, you're presented with this crazy contraption and a lot of signs. But the trick to it is, you see this row of flowers here. First one, orange tulip. We go out and look for a group of orange tulips somewhere. Right here. These are orange tulips, yeah. We see 13, 4. Now if we come back, look for sign number 13. Sign number 4. Oh, and then we have to release the water. I'll just go press it. That water stream should perfectly come down to, let's see, The water puzzle was emotion 11, so it should come to the E. Right here. Yep. So first letter is an E. Then you repeat that process. Keep looking for these big groups of flowers that give you different numbers. And they're kind of spread out. I think I saw another one. The blue one's over there. But yeah, they're kind of all over the place. And that's about it for this one. Okay. I should have checked these off as I did them. Let's do this cool falling sand puzzle. So if you go behind this hidden secret waterfall, drop down into this area, you'll see this massive sand wall and this weird pattern with the dirt. So I guess there's not a lot of clues on what to do here except for this mushroom back here. And the trick is to take some of the mycelium, put it next to this dirt, and then slowly over time it's going to spread across this entire area. And it also can spread down underneath the flowers, and when it does, some of this dirt is regular dirt and some is coarse dirt. And I believe the coarse dirt won't switch, so the flowers on top of the coarse dirt will survive, and the flowers on normal dirt will pop off. So once there's a few flowers remaining, when this sand is pushed, it'll fall down into the cavities where the flower popped off. Otherwise, it'll push across the flowers that stayed, and that like removal of some of the sand blocks is what allows this whole pattern to form into some words. So let me actually speed this process up. I can turn up random tick speed. You can see him popping off. I guess I'll pause it and then resume once this is all done. Alright, so it's just about done. That triggered this little sign. Oops. And now we can activate the sand falling. Whoa, gotta turn down random tick speed. I like the pattern with the lights too, it looks cool. Alright, now I can pause again until it's all fallen and we can see the final code. Alright, so this is finally finishing up here, and you can see the final code is August 19th, 2010, which I believe is the date that Zedd's YouTube channel was created. Alright, moving on. Just a few more left. Ooh, over here, I'll do the QR code puzzle. So we've got some words on signs. Let's see what this book says. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. So the leaf pattern is actually the same as this maze that I made over by the village. Right here. And if you explore around inside the maze, you'll find this chest. I forget what this says. Oh, that's just a nitro code. You'll also find this, which it says, "What a strange sight." And if you pick it up, it's a fire coral. So just the word fire I wanted to use as a hint to burn this whole area down. So let me get flint and steel. If you burn down all the bushes. So after this is all burned out, you'll see there's some gravel and cobblestone, and there should be a secret message right here. I think I can already see some of it. So there's a C, CT, R, yeah, we don't have to wait for the whole thing to burn, but it spells out Control F, which is helpful for this QR code puzzle over here. And the way that this works is you have to look up the lyrics to the song Inside Out and Control F for each of these words. So the number of times that parents shows up in the song, that's how many blocks you place above it right here. And you do that for each of these. Some of them don't even exist in the song, so you won't place any block. And then when you're done, I guess I'll do, or actually, one of these examples might be set up. Yeah. Looks like this one's ready to go. You just drop them down. Yep. So this formation is sort of the key. If you Control F, counted all those words in the song correctly. Bada bing, bada boom. Then that QR code should work with your phone and take you to the Illusion Wikipedia page. And once you're there, you're going to Control F for a sentence that says perception is. I'm gonna see if it still works. Yep, so the Wikipedia page hasn't changed. If you Control F, perception is, the next word is linked, which is the code word, and then for the code number, you just Control F on the Wikipedia page for each of these words, and append those numbers at the end, and that's it. Alright, now I can finally cover the dreaded village puzzle that I definitely should have made more clear, but I'll sort of explain my intentions behind it. So inside of each of these houses, I hid some little story clues, and the general story is just that something strange has possessed Steve, and led him out into the mountains, sort of like this evil demon. And the demon was meant to be the pumpkin head. It's like a pumpkin monster. Yep, more people. Oh, this is another big clue. The evil red pupils and jagged white smile are referring to if you wear a carved pumpkin on your head, that will make a lot more sense. So the red pupils, we need, oh, you can see my left one's lined up. I need 2 red pupils and then white to line up the jagged white smile. But it doesn't explain where you need to be standing to make that happen yet. So I think there's some more clues over here. This one is supposed to allude to Steve seeing some weird stuff outside of his house. So we can go to his. And if you look out each of these windows straight, you'll see a pumpkin right there, and pumpkin right there. So that was my hint towards the importance of the pumpkins. And then the shears is how you carve it. This is a hint towards where you need to be standing, but it's also very vague. Let's take a look at what this says. More about the red eyes. And now here we have the final code that you need to find. So I'll take this stuff with me. I think that was a clue. And one of the books said something about him going to the mountains, so we can go this way. See if we can find. Oh, this was something to activate the giant sand wall puzzle. So if we come over into the mountains here, we'll see some smoke and granite, just like in his chest. So if I take this scaffolding and go up from the granite, the 41 was supposed to lead perfectly to the top up here. And then I guess we have to turn off clouds so we can see better. Alright. Once we're up here, we can put the pumpkin head on. And now this is where everybody got confused. So I think you could either, some people just didn't know where to stand, but did I hide anything up here to indicate this is where you stand? Yeah, I guess the snow was the only indicator, but yeah, that's a pretty bad indication. I guess the ladder leading up here was supposed to as well, but once you're here, you can see the snow lining up in the jagged white smile at the bottom, and then these 2 red mushrooms are supposed to be the red pupils. And once you see that, you need to travel to exactly where the cursor is pointing. So the cursor points, because the book said about where it leads you to stand right about here. Here you can take the pumpkin head off, and now from this point of view, it's where you count the ores. So for emeralds, we got 1, 2, 3. I think that was it. Gold was 0. And then coal is 9. Yep. For the code word, Oh, this was a really fun one to make. You just have to stand in this position, and you'll see the code word was hidden in the mountains from a perspective illusion. So yeah, I basically just made it too vague about. Everybody figured out that you could stand here, but they didn't know to go towards where lining up that perspective like what's pointing at. That was the main confusion there, but somebody still eventually figured it out. I think that's everything except for the very final grand prize. I set this up so that the grand prize, you had to have the codes from all the previous ones solved before it could be made. And oh yeah, it's over here. There's a little booby trap. So this was the big hint right here. Somebody spelled incorrectly and saying some, which is hinting at needing to add up some numbers. And if you look at here, I'll see if I can copy and paste this over. All of, oh no, I can't. Can I do one at a time? Yeah, I can. So each of these codes, if you put them in order of the first number at the end of them, you'll see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 'Once you have them all in order like this, oh, oops, this is the grand prize. If you look at the very first letter of each code, it spells out beautiful. And then if you take the sum of all these numbers at the end, it adds up to 11,719. And that is the grand prize. So yeah, that's about it. Hope you found this interesting. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'm going back to re-record this. I forgot about the cat puzzle. Forgot about it because it's so hidden over here. Right here. Drop down. See all these named animals, each with a letter. Get a bunch of fishing rods, and then this is a nice little Avengers reference where you're supposed to sacrifice them. If you come down here and flip this, it opens up a little area for them to all drop down. And then the trick is the only animal that can survive this drop is a cat because they don't take any fall damage. So once you get them all down here, you just have to look at the collar colors and line up the cats on their correct color here. So for example, this one looks red. You just gotta pull them over till he's set on red. And then you do that same thing for all the other cats. And it will spell out Invisible 550. Well, it just says invisible, and then the 550 is hidden on the wall right here.